Okay. Hi everyone, it's Gabriel, and today's video, I'm spilling tea on myself as a child. I was a cute kid, like, I'll put some pictures here, but I was, like, pretty dumb. Like, I feel like, I don't think I was, like, more dumb than the average kid for the most part, but, like, I remember, like, having a lot of just, like, random things, like, that made perfect sense to me when I was a kid, but now I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, I don't understand. So this is heavily inspired by Jenna Marbles, her Things I Thought as a Kid video. This is my Things I Thought as a Kid video. So the first one is leprechauns. I was always like on the more skeptical side of the Santa, the Tooth Fairy, all that stuff. Like, I was pretty young when I stopped believing in that. And I was that one kid who would always, like, tell other people, not people younger than me, but people my age, you know, Santa isn't real, or, like, the Tooth Fairy isn't real, and we would get into, like, hot debates about it. Like, that was the tea of third grade. But the one thing that, like, I remember feeling so stumped about was leprechauns, because every year, like, I think the older kids did it, or maybe the teachers, they would leave little notes from leprechauns every St. Patrick's Day, and we would, like, go on scavenger hunts trying to find them, or, like, make leprechaun traps. And I was, like, on the outside was like, oh, that's probably not real. You guys are so dumb. But, like, I, like, was really confused, and I was, like, having an existential crisis about whether or not leprechauns were real. And then, like, St. Patrick's Day was over and I'd forget about it, and the next year I probably didn't believe in it. But, like, that was the thing. Like, leprechaun, like, Santa Claus, no. Tooth Fairy, no. Leprechauns, like, maybe. Next thing I thought was, like, Toy Story, my Barbies and, like, stuffed animals and stuff would, like, come to life and start playing without me while I went to sleep or when I left the room. And so I would pretend to sleep a lot and then, like, jump out from bed and out from under the bed and, like, look at my closet and see if my toys were out. Or I would, like, my door is over there. I would go behind my door and then, like, rip it open really fast and see if they moved, and they never did, but I just convinced myself that it was, like, that they were just too fast for me to see, like, they were magic. That's, like, a really good memory I have. Like, I would do that for a long time. I also, like, thought that bungee jumping was if you just took a blanket and, like, tied it to the top of your stairs and then, like, jump down, and I did that and hurt myself, like, multiple times. By the way, the look today is very edgy, very checkered, not usually my style, but I thought I would try it out. I'm, like, trying, because my style is very, like, rainbow, like, bright, like, pastel sometimes, and I kind of just want to do what I want when I want and not have a particular style. Like, I feel like that's really refreshing and I want to try it. It's just hard because, like, you see everyone always having, like, a brand and, like, it's their style and they never stray from it. And I always have had problems with that. Like, comment below if you've had problems with that. But, like, anyways, back to the stuff. This one, I think I can pinpoint to, like, a specific moment. I watched Billy and Mandy a lot when I was little. Like, that was my shit. And I think there was this one episode, if I can find the clip, that would be amazing, and I'll put it in, like, sometime, where they're, like, walking down the street, and then a vegetarian comes up to one of them and is like, hey, can I eat your, can I eat your plant or something? I'm a vegetarian, and then they just eat leaves.
You mind if we borrow your pet bush? We're vegetarians. Knock yourselves out! So hungry.
And so I took that literally, and I thought vegetarians, like, only ate leaves off of trees. And I was like, wow, like, you don't have to go to the grocery store, you don't have to pay for food. That's really smart. And then I remember, like, trying to convince someone to eat leaves with me one time. Like, I was a mess. This, if you live in Minnesota or like around the Twin Cities, this is probably like, hopefully like a common thing. Well, not hopefully, but I've noticed this a lot when I've talked to other people my age about this. So everyone who's not from Minnesota, the capital of Minnesota is St. Paul, and then right next to it is Minneapolis, and people usually, when they're referring to both of them, call them the Twin Cities. And 9/11, obviously, it happened with the Twin Towers, and so if you can see where this is going, I thought that 9/11 happened in Minneapolis. Like, when you're little, like, something like that, like, it's hard to wrap your head around, and I didn't really understand, like, America, like Minneapolis, St. Paul isn't the biggest place in the world, but it seemed like it to me as a like little small town kid. So it felt like very close to home for me, and I thought, because Twin Towers, Twin Cities, that like 9/11 happened at a building in Minneapolis or St. Paul, like. And then I was talking to other people, and apparently they thought that too, like, get your names right. This last one, I just remembered this when I was talking to my mom yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, I have to write this down. I thought that, like, obviously, like, now, like, this is possible, and I was thinking of this in the most traditional way possible. Lesbians could have babies. And I remember me, like, thinking this. I thought, like, one girl could impregnate another girl, and then she would get pregnant and have a baby, and then they would have a family. I remember thinking this, or starting to think about this, when I was in, like, first grade, and I heard two people overhearing, like, I heard two people talking, and they're like, yeah, did you hear about those two guys on the news, and they were married, and they had a baby, and the guy got pregnant, and he had a baby, and I was like, you guys are so dumb. Only a guy and a girl and two girls can have babies together. And, like, it made perfect sense to me, because I was like, obviously, I've never seen a pregnant man, like a pregnant cis man, me as, like, a 7-year-old, but I have seen pregnant women, and so I knew that you need to be a couple to have babies, and you needed a lady. So I was like, yeah, sure, two ladies can have a baby. Like, that's yeah. And then obviously that is possible with, like, in vitro and stuff like that now, but, like, traditionally it's not a reality yet. But it's still like that's what I thought as a kid, and I was okay with it. I think I like, maybe that was me getting my hopes up a little, because I think at that point I wanted kids, and I was like, I was like, I had crushes on girls and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, I could get married and have a baby, which is, like, really cute. I don't know. I thought that one was really funny. Anyways, that's all I have for now. I do have one story that I, like, tell a lot of people. Like, it's a funny story to tell when, like, you meet new people and, like, you're talking about, like, childhood stories. Where I did not know the difference between a condom, a used condom, and a balloon that clowns use to, like, make dogs. Like a party balloon. But I think I'll save that for another video, because it's kind of long and it's, like, really funny. I got in so much trouble, and I was in first grade, and I, like, had no idea why people were so mad at me, but yeah. I'll save that for next week, maybe. I also have some, like, fashion type stuff I want to do, and I have a lot of ideas. Sorry if this is, like, the second story time in a row, but, like, I'm on a roll. Okay, see you guys next week, or in a couple weeks. I'm not really sure when. I'm waiting for stuff to arrive, and I'm not sure really when it's gonna come, but I'll see you guys whenever. Bye. Got my, like, I literally never don't have tea, and I usually just drink it straight from the jar. I actually used to, like, think that was the coolest thing ever when I was a kid, because, like, my favorite movie was Juno when I was, like, 8, and like, she carries around a big thing of Capri Sun, and that's, like, her thing in the beginning. It's because she's pregnant, but, like, I thought it was cool, and I would, like, try to drink milk out of the jug, and my mom would get mad at me. My desk is moving.